Hey, good morning, Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements. It is Sunday morning and I'm out here doing a little maintenance on my rig. I had a couple minor issues this week, a little frustration, and I'm gonna try to get that figured out. I believe the DN10 on my Flow Pro has gone bad again, so I'm gonna replace that. Was not making good suction. You know, you get used to laying up your chemical and how quickly it reacts, and if something isn't reacting like it normally does for you, something's wrong, and you start troubleshooting and trying to figure it out, and you're like frustrated on the job trying to figure it out. I wound up replacing my Sudsucker with my GP injector. I'll show you guys this one a little closer up. It's a nice injector. It's all stainless ceramic ball. I think it's comparable to the Sudsucker. Seems to work really well. I threw that on, seemed to change things for a few minutes, and then right back to the same issues. And then I remember a few weeks ago, I was chasing my tail. I wound up changing that DN10 and everything worked. So I'm gonna do that today. It's gotta be what it is. And then this push button on this reel has gone bad again. So I'm gonna try to replace that again. Of course, it's too early. I went to Napa, Advance Auto, everything's freaking closed this morning, so I can't get one yet. But I'm gonna show you guys how we diagnose the switch real quick and turn this thing around. Show you what's going on. We created this little emergency kit. It's just a Craftsman box. I got this at Lowe's. Nice little box. And I got like one of everything in here. My pressure gauge is kept in there, fittings, blah, 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 rebuild kits, little wiring things, O-rings, etc. This is the rebuild kits for those, for the stainless steel Sudsucker injector. This rebuild kit also works on that GP injector. It's got this little ceramic ball and a stainless spring, you know, every kind of little O-ring, extra X-jet, blah, blah, blah. These are the orifices that go into the Sudsucker and also that GP injector. So it's pretty cool. Again, I'm going to show you guys that in a little more detail in a few. But I keep this little test light, little diagnostic tool. If you don't have one of these, they're super cheap and you can trace things out pretty quickly. So first thing you do with this thing is ground it, okay? So I want to make sure that the reel is grounded, so I'm actually going to just clip that right there. The reel should be grounded because everything is mounted to my rack, and the rack is mounted to the body of the truck, and blah, 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 blah. So these being mounted to this aluminum deck grounds it to the truck, so it should be grounded. So you take your needle on here, right on the positive terminal, light comes on, okay? That indicates to me that I've got a good circuit going and it's grounded. So I'm gonna leave it grounded right there the whole time. Again, that switch doesn't seem to want to work. So what we want to do is trace power up. We got power here, okay? I've got this circuit set up, this breaker set up for my reels, okay? I want to make sure I got power going in. Okay, you can see me light up there. Power into that breaker. Then I've got power out of the breaker, okay? So I'm going to trace the line that comes up to this reel, which is this red one right here. And I've got power at the reel, at the solenoid on the reel. And then if I come over here to my switch, let's see, I should have power, switch hands, I should have power on one side of the switch. Let's see, not getting in there correctly. Nothing on that one. You guys can't see. I can't seem to get my hand in there correctly to test that thing. All right, anyway, see here again, I got power right there at the switch. I've got power coming out of the switch, coming out of the solenoid to the switch. All right. Let's see, and that one looks like it goes to the outside there. There we go. Now you see I have power at the switch on this side, and then when I push the button, I get nothing. So that's where my power stops, right there, is at the switch. So I know I've got to replace that switch. So I'm going to go to Napa shortly and get another one of those. All right, so this Sudsucker injector had fluid coming out of this orifice, the draw orifice, spraying all over the machine. So I just shut the machine off, disconnected this thing, put this General Pump stainless injector in play until I had the time to take this apart. And I take it apart, and of course the spring in there has disintegrated, which was my suspicion. So that is definitely not working. And then my little ball there is still good. These things don't really go bad, or I haven't had them go bad. But that spring is in a couple pieces, as you can see. Let's see if I can, my fat fingers won't let me take it apart. There you go. You can see it's broken. But anyway, we got a couple new ones in here. These were like, I don't know, $5 per set, something like that. And I bought a few of them. Another few of them in here. And these work also on the General Pump, okay? So I'm gonna put this back together, and that's gonna solve part of my problem. And then we're also taking the Flow Pro apart, and I'm taking my new swivel apart so I can rob the DN10 and put it in the Flow Pro. This is no fault of the Flow Pro that these things are going bad, okay? This is entirely equipment failure, my fault, I don't know. These things should last a little longer than they have been for me. But you all know I'm not the best at flushing my equipment, so that's probably what's killing me. Anyway, I guess I need to be better about that, make it part of my routine. But we're gonna get a couple of these things rebuilt, and I'll show you how we're doing. Right, in this also, I don't know if you can see in there, there's also a little O-ring in there, and that O-ring is broken. I don't know if you can see the break or not. I think you can. So the O-ring's toast. There's an O-ring in the kit, a spring, and a ceramic ball. All right, all cleaned up. New spring and ball placed in there. The spring fits in a little bit of a groove, so it's nice to stand it up like that. This is all taped up and cleaned, ready to go. And we're going to thread that right in there. So you just gently set the orifice over the ball and spring so everything stays in place where you want it. Finger tighten it a little bit, and then you should be able to lock it down. All right, so before I go any further, I've got my Sudsucker rebuilt, placed back in line here. Nice tight connections with the hose. Got the Flow Pro on rinse mode so that it's charging to be able to turn the valve. When you first turn it on, you gotta let it be in rinse mode for a few minutes. It charges the solenoids. I got my ball valve back here, turned to the smaller line, which you can see with that white nipple there, that goes to my injector, okay? This three-way selector here chooses whether I'm 12 volting or downstreaming, okay? This hose right here goes up to my proportioner, and here's where I choose, am I restricting my mix? Do I want a little more soap? That kind of thing. I'm going to see if I draw, and I can see that because the hose is clear, and maybe the injector was just the problem before I break down the Flow Pro. Right, here we go, stone cold. Turn it on, pull the choke, get a nice grip. Oh yeah, there we go, all right. I'm ready to go. I got my injector swapped out. Now pulling good soap. Alright, I'm back on rinse mode, everything's working correctly. I guess I'm just gonna give it a test and see what it does. I gotta wash my neighbor's house across the street today. Doing roof, gutters, house wash, everything. It's gonna rain shortly, so I gotta try to get that done. And I guess that's gonna be my test subject. I'm gonna take a break right now, go to Napa, and get that switch I need to fix that reel. All right, all swapped out. I'm back in business. There we go. I'm gonna clean up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go set up on my project across the street. All right, I'm up on the peak of my neighbor's house. Just blew off the gutters, blew off the debris on the roof. This house is a little bigger than it seems. We got black stains all over it, so it's gonna come out great. I'm gonna hit this with 5% today. Got my ladder set up in the back. I'm going up on that flat roof. I'm gonna blow all that off with a power washer because I gotta wash the back of the house up in here too. So I gotta go up there anyway. And there's no gutter on that little building. Nice little property. And that's my house over there. Set up in the road, ready to go. Right, I'm out on the back side of this building. See, this fascia here is nasty. And my injector rebuild seems to be working like crazy. I got the soap barely on. That's like freaking a crack on the soap valve. We're gonna soap the crap out of this area first. Then I'm gonna go up that ladder over there and do the back of the house. Then I'm gonna go wet down the front of the house. And then we're shooting the roof. All right, now I got the X-Jet on here on this roof. I've already soaped the back of the house, but now I gotta blow all this debris off this flat deck. And it's pretty heavy. You get up in there close, it's kind of muddy. It's been here for a while. I got this X-Jet wide open on the needle, and it's a great rinse tool. Be careful not to get too close to anything with it. You can do damage real easy. But on an angle like this, that's a real fast sweeping tool. Pretty neat. Look at the clean trails we've made down this roof just with my house wash, which is probably about 1.5%, honestly. My injector's pulling really strong, and I just put fresh SH in there. So this is gonna clean up beautifully. We're down here ready at 12 volt now, so you can see I changed my banjo to this, which goes to my reel, or I should say goes to my 12 volt pump, which then goes to my reel. So that's the selector valve where I'm choosing which direction I'm pulling from the proportioner. This is the proportioner line. If I have it up, it goes to this one, which goes to my fat boy. If I have it down over there, it goes to the downstream injector. So I choose which device is pulling through the proportioner. So now we're on the 12 volt fat boy. I got the proportioner set with water full on. I got the SH set at 5. I got my soap valve open 3-hole cranks. I usually shoot my roofs from the ladder. This is obviously low enough peak for me to walk. So we're fan tip today, and it's a real chemical saver when you can fan. This has got a very light mist on it. I didn't hit this heavy at all, and it transformed dramatically already. So I'm gonna hit this side over here. Same thing. I mean, that's it. That's all I'm doing. And I'm not seeing hardly any runoff at all, which is what I want. Again, I don't particularly want to be up on the roof doing this, but I would be laying a lot more chemical on this, shooting it from the roof line for sure. From the ridge line, or gutter line, I guess you want to say, like I normally do. That's it. And we're gonna watch that transition for a few minutes. All right, I'm standing down here at the gutter line by my flat roof, and I'm getting a nice mist on all of that. Very easily too. This is my high pressure fan tip, J-rod fan tip. Okay. And I'm getting all the distance I need. Get that far corner even. No problem. Surprised, honestly. Thought I was gonna have to use a high pressure round tip instead of a fan tip, 0 degree. There we go. Let that hang out for a while. All right, transition nicely. Still got some brown spots. I'm gonna hit it again. Virtually no runoff here today, which is making me happy. And then my flat roof down there is still transitioning. Pretty happy with that. I'm gonna give that one more little squirt before I get off the roof. Then I'm gonna leave my ladder in place in case I wanna come up here and do a little touch up after. And I'm gonna get down and wash the house and let this all dwell while I'm doing my house wash. And then we'll give it one more quick look. Let's see if it needs another little hit. Here we go. All right, all done. Just gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna go up on the roof and give that one more quick check, but everything looks good. I'm expecting nice results up there. Yeah, we look real good up here. A little bit of light brown. That's all gonna come down, I'm sure, if I leave it for a while. I'm just gonna give it one little tiny hit here and there, just to help it out a little bit. Otherwise, this looks fantastic, and I'm done. All right, I got some new swag. It came in. A local guy makes these for me, so no link for me to send you. I got black hoodies with white logos on the back. Trying to rebrand things a little bit with the company. Everything black and white. I did a lot of that this year. Yard signs, business cards, everything black and white. We got gray hoodies also. As an example of one on the hook. These are brand new too. Logo on the front. I switched up, not doing names on t-shirts anymore. I'm doing my logo on the front. We got white t-shirts also. These are sharp. These look really good. And these are a tri-blend shirt. They're like poly, what is it? 50% poly, 25 cotton, 25 rayon. Very comfortable. They don't stain too badly. They don't get ruined. But I had a bunch of those. Then I got black t-shirts with a white logo on the back. And way down here in the bottom, I got a whole bunch of black shirts. I got gray shirts with a black logo. These look pretty cool. That's a nice shirt too. Really like that. So everything's black, white, and gray. That's how we're branding. And all of my people are getting a few of these, and then I got a few to hand out to some local people too. So loving it. Catch you guys later next week.